Saturday. Let's look at some comments. Some new subscribers this week. Thank you very much. Big ugly head out of the way. The last time I responded to comments was April 26th. So it's been a couple weeks. Oh, I'm wearing the same shirt. No, it's a different shirt. It's a different flannel shirt. Yeah, my Louise Post trip. Great trip. Several people commented on it that were there, Louise Post fans. Good stuff. It's nice to meet the people that I met, especially Louise herself. Vril. I think I looked through these comments for the other video. Edward Bulwer-Lytton was a huge patron of the left-hand path and funded the Golden Dawn. He had one of the most extensive occult libraries in Britain. So that's been one of my questions, is how much was he into the occult as in that he believed it, or how much was he into it because it was interesting and it was a subject for fiction? And I don't know, that's a tunnel off the rabbit hole that I don't know whether I will go down or not anymore with him. I'm pretty convinced he just wrote the book just as a work of fiction, not to contain some kind of hidden message. Vril, being not that advanced by modern day standards, where the world exists as a depressing parallel. Martians are depicted as this apocalyptic threat, yet two of their main weapons, the walkers and the poison gas, had the real life parallels by the end of World War I with tanks and chemical weapons like mustard gas. We haven't invented the heat ray, like in the novel by the end of World War II. Who needs those when you can incinerate a whole city in a moment with an atom bomb? Yeah, science fiction that is, not so far out that it's not plausible. And oftentimes that stuff ends up coming to fruition sooner rather than later. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that with Blavatsky and what she says about Vril in my next video on that subject. Vril Part 2, Prehistory of Vril. Oh, you be quiet. Much appreciate you taking us along on your trip through the rabbit hole. Well, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I don't know whether I will ever actually get through it or not. Maybe it is a rabbit hole without an end in sight, so maybe you don't actually ever go through it, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. My video about whether or not Motley Crue should retire. Be surprised at my answer was, of course they should logically retire because they suck right now in a lot of ways, but I appreciate the entertainment value, so I hope they keep on going. Let's see. Yes to dinosaurs, no to Aerosmith and Crue. Nothing new in the movie Dirt. I didn't say it was new, it's that I liked it. Oh, the Blackie. I don't care about Blackie Lawless so much. I'm not a Wasp fan. I didn't like his music when they were at their heyday in the 80s. Just seemed really gimmicky, but to each his own. Oh, I replied to this guy to drop a link. 54, and I just pretty much wrote 3 albums. Metal, nobody cares. Well, let's have a listen. See which one has the most views, and we'll listen to that one. 20, 25, 131, 138. Let's listen to the single off of it. That is a pile of skulls, my friend. Not really my thing, but I'm still listening. Can't understand the words very well. I'm kind of a melody person too. All right, well, you weren't kidding. It's pretty heavy. Is there even a metal scene anymore? What city? Yeah, I don't know. I will tell you. So I do various creative things myself. I draw, I paint, sculpture, which is the one I've been most successful at in terms of like stuff that other people actually like. I write and record music. Most of the things I do that are creative, absolutely nobody gives a crap about. Nobody. And so, I think you just learn to live with that after a while. And I know it sucks, but you just got to keep on doing what you want to do. And if you give the outside world too much power to make you, to whether you feel validated or not, I'll just say that doesn't work for me. Like, you can't do it. You have to do what feels right and good and works for you. That's the most important thing. Been a Crue fan since the early 80s, saw them countless times over the decades. Just sad to see them suck this bad live. It is sad. I agree with you. Haven't put out a good song in 30 years. Graduated high school in 89. I mean, yeah, so sure. Hope the Kiss movie doesn't bring them back. I mean, Kiss are, they have to have the record for like the most farewell tours now at this point, right? It's pretty silly. My video of Vince Neil lip syncing. We can just watch this 2 seconds here. Vince Neil's voice keeps going. He's not singing. He's pretending to sing, but he stops and he moves his head away because he cuts the pretending short, and then he doesn't do it again, and he hasn't done it in subsequent performances of this song. That is totally trying to get away with not singing, but looking like you're singing, which is lip syncing. I don't care whether it's actually his voice or not. A lot of Motley Crue apologists out there, man. You guys, you know, yeah, he definitely is using a teleprompter, or he's got the words written down like in crayon on the front of the stage, but probably a teleprompter. I saw him in the 80s too. They were a good band. Some of you people on here, biggest fan, not going to see this crap. Vince just cashing checks. They pre-record tracks where Vince can do it at his own pace in the studio. Well, I think that's true, but they pre-recorded them in 1981 in this case. I think that is the audio off of the original record. They do splice in album track vocals. I have said since the stadium tour that they had pre-recorded tracks for Vince. Yeah. He's reading a screen, King of Rock and Roll. This one here, he's singing along with a backing vocal track of his own voice hitting the high notes. Didn't realize how many people don't know the difference. But he's not singing along. He's pretending. Okay, let's go back in time. On with the show live.
All right, you motherfuckers. This is a big fucking task, like Nikki said tonight, man. Are you think you're fucking ready for the old shit?
This is 2005 from the Carnival of Sin tour. Let's see how he handles the chorus here. Let's listen to a little bit of the verse too. Why not? He sounds good there. You know, Vince Neil has a really distinctive voice. I think he sounds his best when he's got that growl in it, when he's not singing through his nose. He sounds good here. They sound like a real band playing real music. This is a live album. Oftentimes when bands do this sort of thing, they go back and they'll maybe fix like a few bad notes or whatever with some overdubs. A lot of people have done it. Judas Priest very famously got in trouble for like re-recording all the vocals. I don't know which album that was, live in Japan or something like that. I think AC/DC did it at Donington, so it's not, there's kind of no shame in it. It's standard practice, but I think most of this is probably live, and I think what you're hearing are probably Vince Neil's live vocals in 2005, and the guy sounds pretty good. If you ask me, he sounds better than he did in the very early 80s. Let's listen to the chorus. So he hits that one note, my. He doesn't go up. There's no background vocals at all. They don't kick in because there's nothing on tape there. I don't think they're using in-ear monitors at this point. I think they're actually playing live, like actually live without a click track. Just my guess. Second half of the chorus. Throws it to the audience, right? So there could be two reasons for that. A, it's a good sing-along part, but B, he might have realized that he had a little bit of trouble hitting it the first time, and he doesn't want to strain his voice, and he doesn't want to screw it up, so he throws it to the audience. And if you watch the rest of this video, which I have, you will see that he does that every single time. So he hits the my's marginally in the first half of the first chorus, and after that, never again does he sing them. Throws it to the audience every single time. There is nothing wrong with that. Where I have a problem is where you pipe your own voice in and you pretend that you can hit those notes. He might not have been able to hit those same notes where he goes up another little bit. What is this, 2005, 20 years ago? So there's no way in hell that he is hitting them now. Anyway, so you people want to tell me that I don't recognize fakery. There's people who go, yeah, he's faking it. That sucks. So those people have their feet in reality. And there are people who are going to stick their toes outside reality and say that it's actually him singing, which, yeah, it's him singing in 1981, not in May of 2024. He's pretending to sing, or it's okay because he's singing along and then there's just a backing track of his own vocals, but he's not. Like, he stops singing and he lets the backing track, or he lets the track take over at that volume. It's definitely not background singers. That is definitely Vince Neil's voice. I had one guy on here tell me entire band is faking. Watch Tommy. He's worse than Vince. John 5, you can tell with his strums. However, he's the only one left with talent. Yeah, John 5 is definitely playing. I think Tommy Lee is playing too. I don't know. With it, once you get a click track going on here, you know, you can put in anything you want and pump that through that PA system and it sounds great. So who knows? People have gotten caught though, got caught pretending, and that's bad. Oh, here we go. That is echo with a ton of reverb. No, I'm not trying to take up for Vince Neil because I'm tired of their crap anyways, but you can have echo and reverb on your phone. Why does it still suck? He can sing perfect. Well, I think he was singing during most of it, and then it's just that time where he pumps it in. And that's what I said right here. I think he's singing most of the song, but then they're piping in the my part. Sounds exactly like the original recording. Oh yeah, and this guy says, yeah, you're right. I was at work, construction, listening on my phone. Yeah, you gotta put on the headphones and get the full experience. Imagine defending this. Overqualified guitarist. Some people, there's a lot of hate for John 5 out there. I don't know. I think he really likes these songs, and they're good songs, and they're good guitar parts. And he probably just really enjoys playing them. He's up there with some clowns, Vince Neil being the biggest one, but I kind of don't know. I don't hold anything against him. He did sing it live. They did get My pumped in, but he sang the rest. Well, but he was pretending to sing those. I was in sound production for years. You can't hear he is singing since the song without the My, then you aren't listening to it carefully otherwise. His own vocals. Yeah, I think that most of the show was his own vocals. It was just that part. This guy says he was there and he was definitely singing and the band was playing. Well, I think they were, but not that part. And if you just use your eyes and your ears at the same time. The video is not lip synced. That is called digital delay. And never the band from the 80s. Oh, that's a bunch of crap too. Get a clue, Vince hater. Yes, delay will extend the vocal, but doesn't create notes where notes don't exist. That's right. Somebody pulls away from the mic and you still hear their voice. I'm telling you, man, I think all this in-ear monitor shit, I don't know when it became the default that quote unquote rock bands are dependent on like that level of technology. You should be able to plug in your instruments and play and look at each other for cues and use your ears. And this whole thing with having to sync up all of this garbage and the songs are always then exactly the same tempo and everybody, it's like there's this like master control Borg hive with these clicks telling you when to play. Good bands do not need to do that. We know that Kiss was doing it. One of my favorite bands now, the Foo Fighters, they don't do it. They don't need to do it. And you know what? I was a little disappointed when they kept adding people to the band, and now they have 3 people up there playing guitar. They got a keyboard player. They have 3 backup singers in tow, and drums, bass. But the reason they do that, the reason Dave Grohl takes all those people on the road is so that they can all actually play live and pull off the songs. And if you want to see a rock band that still knows how to play live without all of this crap, go see them. I'm going to go see Social Distortion next week in Indianapolis. I guarantee you they're not going to use an in-ear monitor. They're going to get up there and plug in Les Pauls to Marshalls and start playing. And that's what rock bands do. And this other stuff is baloney. And there's Tommy Lee with his dildo strapped to his drum set. Whatever. Okay. Not my cup of tea. I don't have to like it. I don't like it. Part 3 of Edward Bulwer-Lytton, where I talked about, or part 3 of Vril, I talked about Edward Bulwer-Lytton. I will continue the Vril series. I don't think anybody commented on that in this hierarchy of... Did anybody comment on that? One comment. Stephen King, Dean R. Koontz, hilarious video. Yeah, so just in terms of authors, the Bulwer-Lytton was super, super famous in his day. Now most people, even people who know literature, some of them don't know who the guy is. And there's a reason for that, and it's because his writing kind of sucked. And then I put up this video of me talking to Jim Vieira about some giant bones. That was something that we recorded January of 2022, and it got kind of lost out there on the internet. Terrible audio, terrible video on that, and hopefully I will do some other kind of interviewee things with people soon. But anyway, my most watched video the last 2 weeks was definitely the issue of Vince Neil lip syncing. I don't mind it. That's okay. Kind of got into this, the question of this song and how it's changed, how they performed it differently over the years. Here's from 2014. Vince has gained a little bit of weight there. All right, snare drum. Definitely live guitar playing. Notice we don't hear Tommy Lee coming up with the hi-hats yet. That's because Mick Mars is going to slow down, take a little pause. Then we're going to go in. So again, I don't think they're using any kind of in-ear monitors or click tracks on this. Maybe they are. Maybe they are for the second part. Just not that beginning part. Let's hear how the chorus goes on this version. Definitely singing. He's got a little bit more breath than he does now. So there's background singers there. I do not see them in this video, but you can definitely hear them. I don't think that is a backing track. I think there are probably two women off, because they usually have two or more now. Women background singers, and so that's who it sounds like is singing that whole chorus with him, not just the my parts, but the whole chorus. That's what the background singers sound like. Definitely live drumming. See, he's trying to hit that, and he can hit it softly. He can't hit it with a lot of strength, but he's got the background vocals there. That is totally legit. He's not pretending to sing, he is singing. And if he decides not to, the background vocals are there to back him up. Watch one more chorus. Listen. Yeah, he hits those first two mi's, and then that one that goes up, he kind of pulls back from the mic because I think he knows he can't hit it, and the background vocalists hit it, and that's fine. That's what they're there for. He kind of got it there. He got it. That was totally legit. Totally legit version. Oh, listen to all those harmonics. Mick Mars, man. Going to town like it's 1984. Listen to that. I like his guitar parts. Mick Mars is solid. He did a good job in that band as the sole guitarist. I often wonder sometimes, I think a lot of these bands in the 80s, like I feel like they might have had somebody else off stage playing rhythm along with them just to thicken up the sound. But he sounds good up there. They were still good in 2014. I mean, Vince Neil had lost something off his voice, and he didn't look as good. They didn't have that same spark. Biologically, I don't know what that's like to lose your ability to sing, but it happens, but he still sounds passable there. Like that still sounds like Motley Crue to me. What happened between then and now? Different story. But anyway, that's all I want to say about that. I will see everybody later. Who remembers?